Here's something I see every once in a while and definitely do not recommend, and that would be installing carpeting underneath a wash machine, anything with moisture. Looks like they stopped the wood floor here, and they might have installed the carpeting, or it might have been part of the previous flooring, and then they installed the wood floor over it. Again, I'm just speculating here. The main thing is that you cannot have anything that can absorb water and eventually decompose or attract some type of a fungus, mold, or a mildew. And carpeting can definitely do that. If you're on top of a concrete slab, your home's built on a solid concrete slab, in a situation like this, I would just recommend removing the carpeting and then setting the wash machine and the dryer on top of the concrete. As long as you run the flooring a little bit into this area, you're not going to see the concrete. But if you're on top of a building with a crawl space, you have a wood framed floor, then I would recommend, I hate to say leave the carpeting in there, but maybe you could install some type of a vinyl flooring in there. Obviously, vinyl would do better, even if it's the 12-inch by 12-inch square, something that you can lay yourself. You don't need to hire somebody. That's going to keep that material isn't going to be absorbing water like carpeting will, and then of course soaking into the wood. I mean, I've seen carpeting before. It's like a sponge. It'll absorb the water and then give the water plenty of time to soak into the wood. And if it's a small enough leak, where it's not, where it's I don't want to say too small, but if it's a small leak that's unnoticeable to you, but big enough to keep these areas wet of the wood frame structure I'm referring to, not a concrete slab. If it can keep this wood wet enough, long enough, it's going to ruin the framing. So, and there are also pans. They make metal pans, and I want to say they're about an inch tall, maybe an inch and a half. You actually just set the wash machine into, and this might be another option. Again, the reason why I made the video was mainly to tell you to avoid putting carpeting underneath a washer and a dryer, for the reasons that it can get wet, moldy, mildew, and smell after a while. But if you do have a wood floor, it wouldn't be a bad idea to look into these pans that you can put your wash machine on top of. And then if there's any water, it's going to accumulate in the pan. You're probably going to notice that the pan's going to start to rust, something like that. So anyway, that's it. I don't like to see carpeting in any areas where there's going to be a lot of moisture or a possible chance of a water leak, creating problems that can lead to costly, or in some cases extremely costly, home repair bills in the future.